NFL films? Y'all gonna put me on?
From a personality standpoint, TJ is gonna talk. He's gonna tell you exactly how he feels.
Wake up, Cam! Wake up, Cam! Wake up! TJ Ward! What's up, everybody? It's TJ Ward. You watching another episode of Safety First. Welcome back, man. It was an extremely exciting playoff weekend, divisional round. Broncos beat the Bills. Seattle beat the Niners. Bears lost to the Rams. Man, every game except for the Seattle Niner game was full of adrenaline and went down to the last second. But I'm going to start with the game you've been waiting for me to respond on first, our beloved Denver Broncos. Taking on the Bills at Mile High, Josh Allen and crew. Superman came into town, and we took his cape. Now, let's start off real quick with Josh Allen and his responsibility to not turn the ball over. And that he did not do. Josh Allen had 4 total turnovers, 2 interceptions, and 2 fumbles. 2 at very crucial times of the game. Now, you may say a lot about why you defend Josh Allen, his turnovers. Oh, he still was in the position to win the game. Oh, there were some bad calls on some of those plays. I don't want to hear none of that. Josh Allen came in and gave the ball up 4 times. And then early in the game also, when the Bills looked like the run game was cooking, James Cook, costly fumble. And when you want to win playoff games, you cannot turn the ball over. I say it once, I say it 1,000 times. The winner of the turnover battle usually and most likely and almost always wins that football game. And boy, did that Bronco defense come to play, man. Hey, look, they came to play. Championship defenses step up in the big moments. And this defense looked like they hungry for a championship. Bo Nix also did his thing. Clutch Bo Nix, man. Bo Nix was making plays. Whenever we needed plays to be made, man, he had a huge touchdown to Marvin Mims. I'll get to that in a second. Clutch. It hurts that we lost him, but Bo Nix, man, played his ass off. He played his ass off. But let's talk about this Broncos defense first. 5 forced turnovers, like I said, right? My dog, PJ Locke. Pick. I'm going to give him some credit. He stepped in, was ready for the moment, did his thing. You know, there were some questions about him after the Jaguars game, giving up a touchdown in the end red zone. Plays happen. But I knew my dog would step up and make a play, and he did. Jaquan McMillan, huge pick at the end of the game. Another guy, always makes plays when they're needed. Always seems to be all over the field and making plays in clutch moment. Whether it was against the Chargers, his pick 6, the sacks he makes coming off the edge and the nickel blitz, he's just always there making plays. Benito, look, we said we was going to need you to make a strip sack and cause Josh Allen a fumble, and you did it twice. You stepped up. Hey, I said that you was going to be hungry and upset after your all-pro nod. You didn't get your all-pro nod, and that was highway robbery. Shout out to you for stepping up. We're going to need another big one against the Patriots this week. And then Alex Singleton, hard nose, man. He started it off. Popped James Cook, helmet right on the ball. Ball came right out, man. Everybody was making plays. Complete team effort. These boys came out to play, man. That's really what it comes down to, man. It was Josh Allen, Superman, and his crew, you know, his stable of guys, which, you know, no one really gave much credit to. You got Shakur, you got Cooks, Brandon Cooks, the receiver, and then you got James Cook, the running back. And, you know, they made some plays here and there, but for the most part, our defense was locked in. We were locked in and we created a lot of turnovers. We bent, but we didn't break. We bent it, but we didn't break, man. Shout out to them, bro. But I just want to talk about the accountability that Josh Allen, first and foremost, he took a major accountability for the turnovers he had. But how many times in these major media outlets are we going to see them create and continue to make excuses for him? Excuses all the way around him. Every time you turn up, you're talking about how great he is. He's the greatest player on the field. He's being wasted by guys and talent not being put around him. But at the end of the day, you cannot go out there and have 4 turnovers. You cannot turn over the ball right before the half, being careless, giving the ball back to the Denver Broncos and allowing us to kick a field goal, to go in the half with all the momentum and then get the ball in the second half. You can't allow that. So Josh Allen, man, at times he's Superman. He is Superman. He makes great plays. But with all the Superman activities, you got the Clark Kent. And Clark Kent revealed himself in this divisional round in Mile High. And that's as simple as that. If you don't want to put the pressure and the blame on Josh Allen like you do some of these other quarterbacks in those moments, that's on you. But the world is watching, and we see what you're doing for whatever reason. Prime example, man, I'm watching some shows, and, whether it's Rex Ryan, Damian Harris, screaming, oh, he's the best player in the world. He's the best player in the world. He's the best player in the world, and he doesn't have a Super Bowl appearance. You can't be the best player in the world if you're inconsistent. Inconsistency. That's what Josh Allen's downfall is. He's inconsistent. He can be the greatest player in the world 1 minute, and he can be the worst quarterback in the world the next. And that's what you don't want from the quarterback position. You can't have an inconsistent quarterback who goes out there and makes these amazing plays but can't do the routine thing of protecting the football. And I know he's out there trying to make extraordinary plays. You say because he has to. I say he doesn't have to. I say if he plays within the game, the plays will come if he's so great. Now, TJ did say that he had him as his MVP this year. I did say that. You know why? Because he's taking the Bills so far. But then when I look back at the running game, the number 1 run offense, they were some bullies up front this year. I'm not going to lie. There were some bullies up front. James Cook was cooking. And I also said if James Cook doesn't cook, then Josh Allen is susceptible to doing the things he did against the Broncos, against the Eagles, against the Bengals, who didn't capitalize on it because they also did it on offense. But there's games in there that Josh Allen gives the ball away and puts teams in position to win. And that's all I'm saying, man. Call a spade a spade. Whether it's Hurts, whether it's Lamar Jackson, whether it's Joe Burrow, Pat Mahomes, Josh Allen, y'all got to stop being so biased out there, man, because it's coming out your pores. It's coming out your mouths, but it's coming out your pores as well. And we see it as fans and as ex-players. And it's rubbing a lot of people the wrong way. And I really don't, care to point out too many more names, but I still want to get into this next matchup we have. Now, Bo Nix is out. Bo Nix is out the game. Broke his ankle, second to the last play after the pass interference. No, before I get to Bo Nix. I want to talk about Jaquan McMillan's interception. Was it an interception? Was it a catch? Was it an interception? Was it a catch? Well, they called it an interception, so we're going to go with that. That's what they called on the field. So we're going to go with that. And why was it an interception? Now, a lot of people are using the rule that if it's a tie, then the tie goes to the receiver or the offense. But in this case, it wasn't a tie. You know why? Because the receiver never had possession of that football. As they were both coming down with that football, the ball was still loose. Now, did the ball land on Cooks and did McMillan land on Cooks? Yes, they did. But Cooks never secured and maintained possession of that football. While McMillan's hands, both hands, I might say, were on that football. So in the momentum and the rollover, McMillan comes up with the football. What more do you need to say? I don't want to see any screenshots, any freeze frames. You can freeze frame anything and make it look like a catch, even in a drop. So let's not do that. And most of it is coming from people that have a biased opinion that wanted the Bills win or whatever. But hey, the rules are the rules, and that's exactly what happened at the end of the day. Interception for the Broncos, interception McMillan again, and a loss for the Bills. Now, another key play in this game. I'm going to go to another guy who's unheralded, is Marvin Mims. That dot Bo Nix threw to him in the corner of that end zone when we needed a touchdown. We needed a touchdown with the game on the line. And Bo Nix throws a dot right over the shoulder of Marvin Mims on the slot fade, stop and go. It was a stop and go fade, which was an excellent route, excellent call, excellent throw, and an excellent catch. Talking about both of these guys, Marvin Mims and Jaquan McMillan, Eminem. One on offense, one on defense. These are continuous two guys that are reliable and consistent playmakers. Unheralded, I might add. Both of them, unheralded. They're not the big stars. They're not the big names. But they make the big plays in the big moments. I have to shout out those two guys. I would be remiss if I didn't give those two guys their flowers right now. Because without those two guys this season, we are not, maybe not in the playoffs, and definitely not in the AFC Championship game. And that's a fact. You can argue with your mama. So shout out to them two guys. Been balling since they've been with the Broncos, whether it's, Marvin Mims on special teams or at receiver, and McMillan at nickel or on special teams as well. They do whatever they are asked to do, complete professionals, and they come in and they get the job done. So shout out to them two right there. Another guy I want to shout out is Alex Singleton, man. Rough season. This guy had found cancer on a drug test, was out a couple weeks, came back, and he's the heart and soul of that defense, man. He plays middle linebacker. He's a hitter. He's physical. No, he brings that mental readiness. You could tell that the guys feed off of him. And what I love about him is he's physical. He's a physical, old school linebacker, man. And that was the biggest play we needed early in that game, was that fumble on James Cook. Because not only did we get the ball back, but it took the soul of James Cook. He did not run the same the rest of that game. He didn't. He was too worried about giving the rock up. He did not run the same the rest of that game. And that was the biggest blow, one of the biggest blows to that Buffalo offense. They just didn't run the ball the same after that hit, man. So shout out to Alex Singleton again, man. McMillan, Marvin Mims. Hey, you guys don't always get all the accolades, all the herald. But, hey, you guys, prime time players. I tell you that. Prime time players. Before I go on to the next matchup, I want to talk about the Texans and the Patriots game. Well, before I move on to the AFC Championship game, let's talk about the two teams that dueled it out, if you want to say that, to meet the Broncos. The Texans and the Patriots score 28-16. Another turnover fest. And if you want to win these playoff games, what you cannot do is turn the ball over. CJ Stroud. CJ Stroud. 4 interceptions in the first half of football. 4 interceptions in the first half. After having 3 interceptions or 3 turnovers the week before versus Pittsburgh, I stated, all CJ Stroud had to do in this game was come in, protect the football, and they would win. I went as far as to say, get the ball, run it, kneel and punt it, and y'all will win the game. And what did he do? He went out and threw 4 interceptions in the first half. That's unacceptable. That is unacceptable. Those were some of the worst interceptions I've ever seen. Not even just the interceptions, the incompletes. I'll give him one. One was a tip pass, hit his receiver in the hands. I'll give you that. But some of the missed throws, especially on the first play of the game, your receiver is butt naked in the flat and you miss him, it's just like a 12-yard gain. He catches that, who knows? He gets to the field, maybe get 20, 25. The tone of the game is completely different. He's out there missing guys, throwing picks right to Patriots defenders, man. It was so bad, I thought he had money on the game. I thought he had money on the game against his own team. That's how bad it was. Now, I don't care. Y'all could come out and defend him, but I'm going to get on his ass like I got on Josh Allen's ass. I don't care. Now, after all those turnovers in the first half, your defense, as good as they were and as great of a season that they had, they kept you guys in the game. They kept you guys in the game. They were flustering Drake May and that offensive line. They were on they ass. They was on they ass. Will Anderson, Daniel Hunter, the linebackers were flying. Now, they created 4 fumbles of their own. You guys got 2 back, and you got an interception on the Hail Mary right before the half. But Drake May still threw 3 TDs. Threw 3 TDs. And I'm going to say that the group that also let you guys down is the secondary. Now, before, you guys were selling this team an all-time great defense. All time. They ain't won shit. But they were an all-time great defense. Why? Because they beat a battered-ass Steelers? Why was this defense considered? They were putting this defense over our no-fly defense. Can you believe that? Can you believe that? They were talking about 85 Bears, 0-2 Ravens, the Legion of Boom, and skip right over us and put the Texans in there. Man, y'all got to stop this bullshit. Y'all got to stop this bullshit. You crowning shit and they ain't done shit. They got in the game that really mattered and they gave up 3 TD passes, 1 on 4th down, 2 crucial 3rd downs, and another bomb on the best corner, right? So before you start crowning these people, man, they are a good, very good defense. Had a tremendous season. That wasn't better than the Broncos this year. God, we beat them boys. Did we not? I called the Texans winning this game because the way their defense was playing, I felt if they didn't turn the ball over and they ran the ball well with Woody Marks, how they had been running the ball, they could win the game. But what offense, what record-setting offense, what all-time great quarterbacks did this defense play for them to be considered top 5 ever? They didn't play Tom Brady and Gronk and them like us. They didn't play Cam Newton in the best offense putting points up ever like us. They didn't hold Aaron Rodgers to 63 yards on Monday night like us. They ain't play Colin Kaepernick, shut his ass down like us. Come on, man. Put some respect on our name. Don't do that. Please don't. They didn't play Adrian Peterson in the Minnesota like us. Andrew Luck, Drew Brees. Come on, man. Do I got to go down the list? What all-time greats did they beat to be considered an all-time great defense? And it was time to come in and shut all doubters down. When your offense go out there and give up 4 turnovers in one game, what happened? 28-16. You know what 28 is a derivative of? 7. That means they scored 4 touchdowns. Not field goals, TDs. And if you're an all-time great defense, what you don't give up in the divisional round, in the playoffs, is 4 TDs. That's touchdowns, not Terrell Davis's. Okay? So, hey, stop me with that. Stop me. I don't want to hear it. If you got something to say, leave it in the comments. I'll respond. I got time. I got time to respond to all this. Better than a no-fly. Y'all just skipped us like we some punks, busters, like we didn't win the chip. Like we didn't win the chip holding teams in the teens. You ain't getting no 2-0 on us. 1-3, 1-7, 1-8, 15, 16. That's how niggas score on us. Fucking getting me hot in this motherfucker. Anyway, Drake May had 3 TDs, 16 to 27, 179 yards. Woody Marks, fumble as well. Run game just wasn't running. 48 yards on 22 carries. That ain't going to get it done, big dog. That is not going to get it big done. But like I said, man, the secondary, y'all was crowning these guys. And they're good secondary. They're good secondary. But if you want to be no-fly status, Legion of Boom status, you got to win when it matters. You have to win when it matters. Not the wild card, that's great. Whoop-de-doo. Whoop-de-doo. Aaron Rodgers is 108 years old. Y'all better have won that game. Drake May came in there. He didn't throw for 300 yards, but I know one, he threw for 4 touchdowns. He threw for 4 touchdowns. 28-yard TD, 32-yard TD, Kayshon Boutte with the fade ball, 7-yard slant to Diggs. You know what I'm saying? Like, all you got to do is stay inside in the red zone corner. Just stay inside. Cross your face. Touchdown. No, that ain't happening to no fly. That is not happening to the no fly. I tell you that. Now, and another thing, when you needed to stop the run to get the ball back, this where it kind of just was like, you got to stop the run to get the ball back, man. You got to stop the run to get the ball. Ramondre Stevenson was toting. He was toting 16 to 70, 16 for 70. And in the crucial time, that's when he was toting that bean in the fourth quarter. When y'all in the 4-minute drill, you got to get the ball back if you're a great defense, 4-minute drill. You can't let them just keep running down the field. Hey, man, I'm not going to get on y'all too much because, you know, it's not y'all that made me mad. I really like y'all defense. I love the players y'all have. Your secondary is very good. But in these times, this is when greatness reveals itself or not. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Now, the Patriots defense, y'all might flippity flop because they went out there and got 4 picks and a fumble. Carlton Davis, championship pedigree. He knows what it takes to win a Super Bowl. He was over there with Tom Brady and them in that defense. He had 2 picks. Marcus Jones had the pick for the TD. Young bull Craig Woodson. Shout out to Craig Woodson, man. California Bear. Hey, shout out to Craig Woodson. That's my dog, man. He had a pick. They made big plays when they needed to, man. They made big plays when they needed to. They stopped the run up front. They stopped the run up front, man. And they was hitting. They was hitting. So, you know, hey, the Patriots came out there and they played championship defense. They got championship coach, Vrabel. You know what I'm saying? They got experienced guys. And them boys up front was not letting y'all run the ball. So we're going to come into next week. We got the Broncos and The Patriots. The Broncos and the Patriots, again, in the AFC Championship game, man. AFC Championship game, Broncos and the Patriots. I'm looking forward to this, man. This is 10 years in the making since we played them and beat them at Mile High. And, of course, I'm going with my Broncos. I got to go with my Broncos, even with Stidham in there. You know, Jared Stidham, he ain't no slouch, man. He's not no slouch. 4th-round picked by the Patriots. So, obviously, they saw something in him where they was going to bring him in and become Tom Brady's replacement until Cam Newton got there. And I don't know, Cam, I don't know what you did over there, but they let him out the door. They let him out the door, go to Oakland for a couple years, and now he's with the Broncos. Sean P. went and got him. If Sean P. sees something in you, Bill Belichick sees something in you, I see something in you. Straight up. Them is 2 Super Bowl winning coaches, and they both saw something in Stidham. I don't know what the Raiders was doing. They offered him a contract, but, hey, would you rather be with the Raiders or the Broncos? And keep it a buck. I'm going to Denver. I ain't messing with the Raiders, especially they flippity-flopping going from Oakland to Las Vegas. You don't know where they're going to be in a couple years. But look, my dog, Jared Stidham, I watched him in the preseason. He's throwing dots. He's throwing dots, man. He got an arm. He's very accurate. He was a dual threat quarterback coming through the ranks, high school and college. I like dual threat. He like both. And the NFL is a little different, but what I'm saying is he can get himself out of trouble if need be. Now, you might say he's no Bo Nix. Y'all wouldn't give Bo Nix credit anyway. Y'all wasn't giving Bo Nix no credit for what he was doing. So what is it going to come down to? It's going to come down to these defenses like it does in the playoffs. Whoever creates the least turnovers plays stout defense in the red zone and gives up field goals opposed to the touchdowns is going to win this game. And also, if you can run the ball a little bit, you ain't got to run for 150 yards. Hopefully we get J.K. Dobbins back. We got R.J. Harvey. You know, I think we should have gave him the ball a little bit more this past game, but, you know, Sean will make those corrections this week as he always does. But at the end of the day, we won the game, right? Sean Payton said he's accurate. He has the mental aptitude. And look, that's all I need to hear. He's going to adopt the game plan to work with what Stidham does best. And that's where this coaching comes into it. You got McDaniels over there in New England, and you got Sean P. over here in Denver. It's going to be a hell of a matchup, man. It's going to be a hell of a matchup. Now, another thing is going to come down to is us having home field advantage. That's why this number 1 seed was so important. Hey, Mile High and our fans, with this defense, undefeatable, man. Undefeatable. Look, I'm telling you, I've been there. It's hard to play and win in Mile High in the playoffs. It just is. And that's why we are successful in AFC Championship games at home. It's just a fact. It's just a fact. Now, another thing that's going to be crucial, I mentioned these guys earlier, Marvin Mims, Jaquan McMillan. Let's keep it rolling. We got to keep it rolling. Special teams. We used to say this little thing in Oregon, be special. Special teams, be special. That means limited in the return game, create a turnover on your own, or create a turnover yourself, which is like defense, and also big returns. Block punt, blocking on a punt return, field position. This is going to be a field position game. We seen what the Texans did to the Patriots offensive line. They're nothing special. We can get to them. Benito, Cooper, Allen, Roach. You know what I'm saying? Add the blitzes in there. VJ, I know VJ going to have them boys ready. And our secondary, look, our secondary speaks for themselves, man. We got young Riley Moss, PS2. You know, PJ Locke had a hell of a game. Let's backdoor. PJ Locke, keep coming and playing, man. Keep showing up. Keep playing. Defense, that's all you got to keep playing. I tweeted it during the game. Even in big play moments that the other teams get, keep playing. Hufanga, keep being an assassin out there, big dog. Keep hitting. keep flying around. You had a fumble recovery. Keep flying around and making plays. Be a game changer. Be a difference maker, man. Y'all got the ability to do whatever you want to. I'm going to see you in Frisco for the Super Bowl. If y'all just keep playing, man, when in doubt, keep playing. Keep playing. And plays will come. I also tweeted during that game that the defense would make a play to secure the win. And McMillan made that play. Just keep playing. You keep playing, big plays happen. Big plays are made when you just keep playing football. Don't worry about all the outside shit. Just keep playing the game. So special teams, you got to be special. And I'm going to say go back to Jarrett Stidham and a couple guys that stepped into the role for other teams. Nick Foles in the AFC Championship. Frank Wright, AFC Championship. I'm going to take it back to Doug Williams. He stepped in the divisional round, led the Redskins to the Super Bowl. So it's not like it hasn't been done. It can be done, and it has been done. And I'm looking forward to the Broncos doing it again. Now, all you doubters out there, you want to be sarcastic, Dave Portnoy, Barstool, you kind of making mockery of my dog Bo Nix and his injury. We seen that little T-shirt you had on the show. Hey, it ain't going to be too funny when we smack y'all in the mouth this week. It ain't going to be too funny. You ain't going to be making T-shirts with black tape and cartoon drawing on it when we come in and we smack your boys in the mouth, right? That ain't going to be too funny. I don't appreciate you making fun of Bo Nix' injury, any player's injury. If you haven't been in the player's shoes and don't know what these injuries are like and you just making fun of guys going down and being sarcastic in your delivery, that ain't cool. That ain't cool. And guess what? It's a little thing called karma that comes into play when you do things like that. So, yeah, just watch your mouth, man. Watch your mouth. So, that's my prediction. You know, my game prediction, I'm going to go. My prediction for the game is 23-17 Broncos at Mile High. Count it, man. This safety first, man. Keep watching. The show ain't over, though. So cut that out if you edited it. It ain't over. We got some more shit to talk about. But, yeah, let's go, Bronco country. The Los Angeles Rams traveled to Soldier Field in Chicago to take on Caleb Williams and the Bears. And your MVP, Matt Stafford, him and his Rams pulled out the win again. I'm not going to say it's because of him, although you guys are enamored with some of his big throws and his no-look passes, but I still say that the Bears lost this game more than the Rams won it. Now, they both came out and ran the ball very well, all right? You have to run the ball in the playoffs. Whether it was Swift and Monangai for the Bears, or it was Kyron Williams or Blake Corum, man. They both have a good pair of backs, running backs. But when you turn the ball over 3 times in the playoffs, it's just hard to come back from that, especially in the divisional round. Now, the Bears and Caleb Williams, they did it. They did it against the Packers in the wild card at home, but they couldn't finish it this round at home against the Rams. Now, Kobe Durant had 2 of those picks, man. Kobe Durant been balling, man. He is a ball magnet. He had one early in the game with an overthrow, and he had one late in the game, which I don't think Caleb Williams should have thrown that ball in that cover 2 coverage, but it was a great disguise. And unlike the Bears on 1 third down that Matt Stafford fit a 7 in on cover 2, Durant sunk on the deep pass, didn't bite up on the shallow, and he picked off the 7 route. Now, another thing why the Bears, the game got away from the Bears a little bit, or I thought they could have, had an easier or even a victory, not an easier victory because they didn't win, but they could have won the game. Short distance. Short distance. I don't know what the play calls were from Ben Johnson. I don't know if it was the upfront blocking, but they were not successful on third and short, fourth and short, third and goal, fourth and goal, man. You got a physical running game. I don't know what you guys were doing. It was one early in the game. They had third down. They ran it straight up the gut. Didn't get it. They went for it again on fourth down, ran it straight up the gut. Didn't get it. Like, I don't know. Mix the count up. You know, do something to catch the hard counted. A counter run. Now, I don't like tosses and shovels and all that type of stuff in short down. I don't like that. But you got to be more creative in your runs, man. Like, you got to be more creative. You can't go up the B gap both times unless you can catch them off guard. Catch the D line off guard. I thought you guys were better at that, Chicago. I thought you were more powerful at the point of attack. But for whatever reason, the Rams, you know, they held stout. They held very stout at those times. You were up 10-7 with a little over a minute left in the half. I thought you were going to go into that half or go into halftime with a lead, but you didn't. You let the Rams go right down the field really quickly and kick a field goal and tie it up at halftime. And I thought that was a mistake. I thought that was a big mistake. I thought that was a mistake letting them get them 3 points and not go into halftime with that lead. There was another incident later in the game. Fourth down, 3 minutes to go. Kick the field goal. Take the points. Take the points. You kick the ball off. You still got more than 2 minutes left in the game to get a stop. You get a stop, get great field position, and then you could go in and score and win the game. But instead, you went for it. You didn't get it. Which is that, I mean, I can see why you went for it as well. I can definitely see with 3 minutes left, you just want to get the points while you're down there. But you didn't get the points. You didn't get the points. Now they're backed up, and you stop them. You do stop them. They punt, right? They punt, and you get the ball, and you get the 7 points anyway. But it leads to this. I said a lot to say a little. Caleb's fourth down, which it really shouldn't have came down to. All that scrambling, all that running around, and that was one of the best plays I've ever seen. I'm not going to hold you. To scramble, spin out again, throw it to the back of the end zone, and Loveland come up with that catch. I thought you guys were going to win the game with that. I thought you were going to win the game. It sent to the OT, and I agree with the call of kicking it. Kick the points. Because the way you guys were playing short yardage, I would have kicked the points and did exactly what you did, take it into overtime. You take it into overtime. Your defense stops Matt Stafford, makes them punt. You make them punt. You get the ball. All you need is a field goal at this point. You just need a field goal. You moving the ball. All you need is a field goal. And Caleb Williams does the unthinkable. He throws his third interception. A lot of people are saying that that's DJ Moore's fault slightly. He should have crossed the face of the DB. Maybe, maybe not. Should he have put more effort to get across the face? Maybe to interrupt the DB curl from making that interception? I think so. Did he not see the ball thrown? Did he not see the angle of the football? I don't know. What I do know is DJ Moore had an awesome game and was catching the rock in that snow all game long. So why at this moment would he give little effort? That's a question you have to ask DJ Moore. And I'm wondering myself. But in no way, shape, or form do I think that it was his lack of effort and not caring about the play for that to end up in an interception. But nonetheless, Matt Stafford gets the ball again, bailed out again, and they get in field goal range and kick a field goal. And that ends the game. That ends the game and the Bears' season. And I say once again, Matt Stafford, you guys' MVP, has been bailed out continuously. Whether it's in the Panthers game, where he threw the interception that was knocked out by Puka, or was it this game where he had the opportunity to go down the field on his first possession, get a touchdown, or get a field goal? He did neither. He gave the ball right back to Cardiac Caleb Williams, to go down and lead the team, so it was out of his hands. And I just don't trust Matt Stafford. I don't trust Matt Stafford, and that's just me. Like, you know, he's 20 for 42, no TDs. No TDs. The week before, he's 24 42. So he's out there throwing the ball 42 times, 40 times. He's going to make some nice passes. You guys are enamored with the nice pass of Matthew Stafford, the arm strength of Matthew Stafford, and it's always been that way. But you guys don't never like to point out his faults. You look over his faults, just like you do Josh Allen every time. And I say he was carried by the Rams defense to his first Super Bowl championship. And that's just what it is. I call a spade a spade. I'm not infatuated by the things that don't matter. I'm not. This is not the Pro Bowl. This is not the NFL Pro Bowl skills challenge. It's not. Now, you can say he's in the NFC Championship. Yeah, he's in the NFC Championship. Congratulations. But am I going to crown him like you guys love to crown these guys? I'm not. I'm not going to crown him. I'm not. So I'm going to move on. Before I get on to this NFC Championship game, I'm going to get on to the blowout of the weekend. Oh, my God. The Niners and the Seahawks. If you would have told me the Niners would have got blown out like this, I would not have believed it. You know why? Because I called the Niners to win. I had a little bit of emotion behind that, a little home team rooting? Yeah, I did. Yeah, absolutely I did. But to get blown out like this? No way, Jose. And it started from the very kickoff. Rashid Shaheed. What a game breaker. What a game changer he's been for the Seattle Seahawks. He's been amazing. He has been amazing. I'm not going to lie. And Eddie Pinheiro, what do you think this is? The Euro League? What was that? What was that, a slide tackle? Did you know that was illegal in the NFL? You cannot do that. It's called tripping. This boy, I mean, I know you can kick. You're a really good kicker. But that effort in the playoffs, that is unacceptable. That is unacceptable. Even if you made it, it's a penalty. Even if you made that stupid slide tackle, it's a penalty. You can't do that. You can't do that. God, dog. Do you not? Who's the special teams coach over there? Do you not teach your kicker how to tackle? You don't do any open field tackling with your kicker just in case he might get in that situation and might have to save a touchdown with a tackle, not a slide kick and trip. Oh, my God. Yeah, you Niners, they just, I gave a lot of shot and kudos to Kyle Shanahan for doing what he did and even getting this team to where they are in the divisional round, because this team has been depleted. It was a good matchup for them. I talked about the matchup in the playoffs last week versus the Eagles and what they did, and they came out of Philly with the win. But they couldn't do nothing with the Seahawks, man. They couldn't, not that defense, not that running game, not turning the ball over, unsuccessful fourth downs. Sam Darnold didn't have to do much. Didn't have to do much of anything. He was 12 for 17 for 124 yards. But you know what he didn't do? Throw an interception. Didn't throw any interception. Didn't turn the ball over. So You can win games like that when you don't turn the ball over, right? And Kenneth Walker, he was killing the Niners. Killing the Niners. I thought he had 140 yards when I looked up. He only had 116, 19 carries. That's efficiency. 19 carries for 116 yards. 3 TDs. And it allowed the play action to work so beautifully when needed. Sam Darnold spread the ball out to everyone. Cooper Kupp, what's the other receiver? Jonu Jackson? JSN, Cooper Kupp, the tight ends. Everybody got the ball. Rashid, he even got the ball on offense. So if the Seattle Seahawks can continue to play like that and they defense coming out, hitting and getting turnovers, they can get to the Super Bowl and we'll see what happens. We will see what happens. But they can definitely get to the Super Bowl playing like this. Leonard Williams, dog up front for them. Dog. He sets the tone. It starts with him. Ernest Jones, 1 interception, 1 forced fumble. He's the middle and the heart of that defense right in the middle, man. He makes plays happen. He's a hitter. He flies sideline to sideline, and he's a ball magnet. And DeMarcus Lawrence, man, what a bonus he's been. What a bonus he's been for the Seahawks this year. He had 2 forced fumbles this week. 2 forced fumbles. Hey, he's been the ace in the hole for the Seahawks this year. The secondary's playing out their minds right now. And when you can stop the run like they did against the Niners, where Brock Purdy had more rushing yards than CMC. Brock Purdy had 37 rushing yards. Christian McCaffrey had 35. They couldn't sniff a running lane. Couldn't sniff the running lane. And that's how you win playoff football. That's how you win playoff football. They look prime for a Super Bowl visit. And that's the physicality of the playoffs, the hunger of the playoffs, the home field advantage of the playoffs, the noise of the playoffs. The 12th man, do not count them out. Like we talk about Bronco country. It's loud, and next to Mile High, Seattle, they neck and neck for the loudest stadiums in the NFL. They're both outdoors. You have to play in the elements. And that's why I have Foxborough is also another home environment. But guess what? They're not playing in Foxborough. They got to pull up to Mile High. And that's why I have the Broncos and the Seahawks in the Super Bowl. I have the Seattle Seahawks beating the Los Angeles Rams. And you could call me a Ram hater all you want. I don't care. I don't trust Matt Stafford. I don't trust Matt Stafford for this very reason. I told you he's throwing the ball 40 plus times. 40 plus times. The last matchup versus Seahawks, they were 8 of 20 on third downs up in Seattle. Now you say, oh, TJ, the game went in overtime. They won on a 2-point conversion. So they won. Matt Stafford had the ball. He went down there. He got a touchdown. He did what he was supposed to do. But guess what? Sam Darnold went right back after him and got the 2-point conversion and sealed the game. But there was opportunity for Matt Stafford to seal that game in regulation. So that's why I'm blaming him for this loss. He had an opportunity to seal it in regulation, and he didn't with the opportunity. Just like he had an opportunity to seal it in the OT, getting the ball first, and he didn't. Bailed out. Just like he had an opportunity to seal it, which he did against the Panthers, but he threw a pick that wasn't intercepted. Bailed out. The luck is going to run out at some point. It's going to run out. And I believe the buck stops here in Seattle once again. They were 3 for 6 last game in the red zone. Another thing, touchdowns compared to field goals. You in the red zone, you the MVP, got to score touchdowns. Got to score touchdowns. And the way Seattle's been running the ball and stopping the run, it's going to be a task with Kyrie Williams. It is going to be a task. He's slippery. He finds a crease. He's a good back. Kenneth Walker, built in that same image. Small, powerful, good vision. We're going to see who holds it up front. But I like Seattle's D-line. I do. I like Seattle's D-line. And I don't think they turn the ball over 3 times like they did in that last matchup between the teams. I think they keep it simple, man. All the stops got to be brought out. This the NFC Championship game, divisional game. We said the NFC West was the best division in football a long time ago, early in the season. Turns out they are. 2 teams in the NFC Championship. Shout out to them. Applause. Congratulations. But only one can go. And that's why I'm going to go with the Seattle Seahawks winning this game 35-24. 35-24. This is Safety First. I'm your boy TJ Ward. The championship weekend is upon us. I can't wait. Broncos, Seahawks in this year's Super Bowl. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Right down here at Safety First Show on all platforms. Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. I'm out.